Hello everybody and welcome back to another Age of Empires 2 video. This is a 1v1 on Arena, and man, have we been seeing this frequently. I think we should rename Arena to Meme Arena because all the games that I've uploaded recently, they haven't been the most serious Arena games despite there being top players involved. They've been more funny, I think. And today we are casting a game featuring none other than TheViper. And TheViper is in the yellow here. He's playing as the Saracens. And then we have Drakant, who's playing as the Persians. So, I've already said it's going to be a meme strategy. I won't spoil just yet. You'll have to stick around to find out exactly how it works. But a few videos ago, Arena games that is, I casted Jon Slow in The Legend of Jon Slow, and he was Persians at the time. He was playing his buddy Dark Noob, and he went forward for a tower rush, and then he tried to... well, he successfully Persian douched, which was absolutely hilarious. Drakant could go for that possibility here because he is Persians. His TC has 4,800 HP. Is it likely that he gets into Viper's base and builds a TC on Viper of all people? Probably not. We will see. If we don't see any shenanigans like towers or TC rushes, then we'll see Saracens having the edge, because Saracens, they have a strong siege and monk push. Persians don't really have that. Also, Saracens have amazing camels, which counter the Persian paladins. Persians do then have gunpowder. Like, they could go for maybe hand cannons and halberdier, but Persians can do that as well. The Persians are pretty much just better all around. They have better siege, and they can match anything that the Persians can do. So, with that in mind, you're Drakant, and you're playing versus the best player in the world. You're probably going to switch it up. You're behind in civilization, and you're behind in overall skill. And who knows just how seriously Drakant is taking this. You know, he might really be thinking, I have nothing to lose here versus the Viper. So maybe, just maybe, he'll go with that new meta tower rush in this game. I think it's worth pointing out where the resources are always. So we have the main gold here for Drakant. This is a good position for him. He has a secondary gold in the back. He has 2 stones here. This one is slightly bugged, unfortunately. But he has 2 golds, 2 stones on his base. He cannot complain about that. Even has some extra berries, so he can get some more variety in his diet. The other gold is out here on the right-hand side. Then looking at Viper's base, it's not as good, which is not common to hear when you're talking about the Viper. Normally he gets the best civs and the best maps alongside his best skill. But he has a forward main gold that might be okay. This gold's certainly not okay. You'll need to do something to secure that. And he has 2 stones in the back. The other gold's actually outside of his walls. So yes, if Drakant were to go for towers here, he could build a tower here, keep an eye on the right-hand side, and pretty much keep Viper off of gold. Viper would have the fallback of using the Saracen market, but still not ideal. So I'm going to take this moment to just remind people that in the near future, the Hidden Cup begins. Viper will be playing in the Hidden Cup alongside 11 other players, some of the best players in the game. And that will be happening on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday coming up. So that will be on the 28th of September, the 29th of September, and the 30th of September. And if you didn't see the announcement video, if you didn't see the announcement post on AoE Zone for what Hidden Cup is, I'll take this opportunity to just briefly explain it. Essentially, it is a 3-day 1v1 tournament in which all players are using hidden accounts. So they will be either hidden user 1, hidden user 2, hidden user 3, and they're facing off against each other, not knowing who their opponent is. And obviously, we as casters and you guys as viewers, or myself as caster and you guys as viewers, you will not know who we're watching. So it'll be a lot of fun. I think that there could potentially be upsets. We all know how successful Viper is in 1v1 tournaments. But it could be because he has the mindset, right? It could be that he really strikes fear into his opponents. Well, some players have the skill, they just haven't really had the results to go along with it. It's possible that since they are playing anonymously, they might end up beating the Viper. We'll see. So if you are watching this on YouTube, within the next day or two, the event starts. And of course, if you're watching this later on, if you're watching this weeks or months or years later, the event will be uploaded to YouTube as well. But a lot of people never get the chances to hear about these things and never get the chance to see the stream live. And it'll be starting at 13 GMT on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday 13 GMT is 9 AM EST. It's kind of early, but it's normally an all-day event. So yeah, that's my little promotion of the Hidden Cup. And Drakon is going for a tower rush. Oh my goodness, he was luring deer. You can see all the food he has. And I was like, why is he going to the right-hand side? Well, he doesn't know where Viper is, which is really disastrous for Drakon because he's going to the complete wrong side of the map. And normally you want to get the first tower up by now. So in Feudal Age, Viper's stone walls will only have 900 HP. And once he hits Castle Age, they will be 1800 HP. So with only 900 HP now, players can actually get through these walls. Viper, he's gone up on 24 population. He's gone for a classic Saracens build, where instead of going to your gold, which is exposed here, you go to your stone, and then you build a blacksmith and a market in Feudal Age, and you use the market bonus as Saracens. You just sell the stone. But here comes Drakon. He's going to try and get in. That was a really slow start for his rush. It's only 4 villagers. And Viper should have the time to build a defensive tower here. Drakon then won't be able to push in. And, you know, on the bright side for Drakon, there's really no way Viper can counter, because Drakon has zone walls. So maybe he can try and buy himself a little bit of time. He's going to tower this gold now. And I guess he does see this gold is here, so he can see all 3. But yeah, he's not going to get into Viper's base at this rate. And Viper says, why play this ZZZ? So Viper, he seems unimpressed with the strategy of Drakon. Economically, though, it's looking pretty solid for him. He has all this food underneath his TC. Market is about to complete. And once that is finished being built, he will probably sell some of that stone, and he'll be in Castle Age much faster than Drakon. And then the question is, what will Viper do? Well, I already know, and you guys are really going to like this one. This is just a rated game. This is not a tournament, so this is where players, they do play differently. I do think that's why recently on Arena there's been so many funny games, so many entertaining games that haven't necessarily been of the highest quality gameplay. Well, Viper, no sign yet. He's only on stone. He has not gone to gold. And he's actually building a defensive tower now because Drakon is going to work his way in here. Viper does not want Drakon to get any more towers up. So that's actually quite good for Drakon. Drakon has done a good job here to just force Viper to build a tower, even forcing him to build a stone gate here. I don't think that was even necessary for Viper to try and build. Maybe he doesn't want Drakon to run around to the left. But yeah, the tower goes up for Viper. It did buy him a little bit of time. And as of now, it seems like Viper is planning on a boom. He has lots of wood. He's collecting stone, so probably just town centers and economy for Viper. And Drakon is not even close to clicking up to the Castle Age. Normally, it should be near over for you in this situation, but because of Viper's map, I'd say he could actually do this. And he's building not only a barracks, but he's building a stable, so perhaps expecting Viper to add a siege workshop forward, or sorry, not forward, that's what Viper's about to do, but add one defensively and go for mangonels to kill the towers, and then he wants to go John Slow style and kill those mangonels with scouts. Really surprised the Viper. But Viper snuck out here, and he's going for what looks to be a siege monk push. So a siege workshop, he now has the monastery. With a few mangonels and a few monks, he could actually finish off Drakon. It is kind of hard to push the Persian town centers, I have to say. And also, if Drakon's going scouts, he could kill this, believe it or not. If he has enough scouts. Viper is selling stone. You can see on the overlay at the top left, he's selling his stone. He does not have any access to gold. That's a lot of villagers on stone, but he's still getting good prices for this. And he's going immediately for a battering ram. And he'll have one, maybe two monks by the time that Drakon can get over here. Now Viper, he doesn't know about the stable. This is what's interesting. So I know this seems like kind of a meme play from Drakon, but it's actually a nice play if you think about it. He's probably going to die if he doesn't make the scouts, and they're hidden away from Viper's line of sight. So Drakon obviously knows now. Viper will just see one scout. He assumes that's the starting scout. And Drakon, he sees the battering ram. He's trying to quickly wall behind this. And here come the scouts. Viper will lose one monk, and he'll probably get a conversion and lose this monk as well. Yeah, he gets the conversion. But that really puts an end to Viper's push, doesn't it? Viper has to build a barracks now. Viper was thinking about going out to gold. He can still do that, but it's certainly not going to be ideal because Drakon is here. He's building a tower. I mean, this is a really weird style. Viper's monks will not be able to safely leave the monastery. So that's a lot of gold wasted. And keep in mind, Viper, he was selling his stone. So he was selling his stone to do all of this. He didn't really have access to gold. And now this is where it all begins. This is where the craziness begins. Viper leaves his farms. He leaves his wood. He even leaves the gold. And he runs out with villagers. And he's like, I've had enough of this. I've had enough of this nonsense. So it seems like he's adding a few spears. The spears have not arrived yet. And he's now sending his monks out. That is wonderful stuff from Viper. Viper sits underneath the tower. Such a smart play. He gets one conversion, and he could get more here. And he does. He gets 2 more. And Drakon, there's still a hole here. Drakon doesn't know what to do now. Drakon is completely surprised by this strategy, as a few villagers are like, what do we do here? And now Viper has all of these villagers. This is Drakon's point of view. You've got to be thinking, what on earth is happening here if you see this? And he's looking to build defensive towers, but first he goes into a Vil fight, and he is outnumbered. So he sends in the reinforcements. This is hilarious. What used to be Drakon's scouts, and now killing his villagers. He has so many weak ones here, and he's just looking to force down these towers. And this tower will get battered down. Viper could then try and batter this one down, though he needs to be careful because it goes up. And this is like a boxing match here. This is wild. But funny enough, Viper, he has less villagers. He kind of seems like he's winning this one at the moment. He does have the monks healing him up, but he loses one monk. He'll lose another monk. And just, goodness gracious, I don't even know how you cast this thing. Sure, Viper has more villagers, but they're not supposed to be here. They're supposed to be back in his economy. They are not at the moment. And Viper, you know, he's actually repairing his battering ram. He's fighting with Vils everywhere he can. And he should take this tower out. Now, Viper is really not in a good situation. He's trapped here. Drakon has walled him in. And Drakon's like, just screw it. I'm going to send my villagers. Drakon was being stubborn for a while there. And he didn't want to send all of his eco. But he might as well because he's losing Vils now on the front. And Viper's winning the boxing match. Viper is winning the boxing match. This is hilarious. Just imagine if one of them had Incas and they could get the blacksmith upgrades on their Vils. That would be amazing. So, tons of dead bodies now. I feel like Viper's gotten more kills. It's really hard for me to track. It's hard for me to talk and track the number of kills. This is not easy to do, guys, because you have to click the villagers individually. They do not auto-attack. And Viper's trying to drop a TC. So Viper realizes he's trapped. He realizes he's in the castle age. So how can he get an advantage? Well, just build a TC. So Viper is what we call douching the guy who is Persians. Normally, this is not a thing. Well, first of all, getting in here, that's normally not very successful because the guy has freaking stone walls. But Viper found an opportunity. He jumped in. He gets the town center up. And sure, he lost some villagers in the process of doing that, but he's killing a few of Drakons as he leaves. And Viper has 23 vills now. Drakon has 26. And Drakon has no economy. So Drakon cannot advance to the next stage. Now, the reason the Persian douches his strategy is because Persian TCs have 4,800 HP. So in this TC war, Viper will lose. He only has 2,400 HP. That's why this is so ridiculous that Viper did this. You look back at Viper's eco, he has 7 villagers here. No, 8, sorry. And Drakon's running right underneath his main TC, and he can do that because Viper doesn't have any vills to garrison. Viper quickly gates up here so he can have some lumberjacks, and he leaves his TC because he's obviously going to lose it. And he's going out on a journey, and that journey begins with more vill fighting. So again, the gloves are off, and I mean the KDs are incredibly close considering everything that has gone down here from conversions and monks and scouts and vills. The KD's pretty close. Viper, possibly distracted in his own base, runs into the TC of Drakon. That was sloppy. But you see the micro. You see how Drakon is chasing these two vills and Viper is running him away. Viper got a lot of free hits in there in the vill war. And like, I mean, Viper's behind, right? Viper's behind. He is in enemy territory without a town center, but look, he's gonna build another one. And Drakon tries to rush it down. Viper will quick wall this. Viper's being really stubborn. So Drakon, he's now building a tower. We've seen this before. And Viper's TC's at 60, 65, 70, 75. I mean, he might take a few losses again, but Viper's TC should go up. He loses 2 more villagers, and the TC goes up. So, fun fact of the game here: Viper has built more TCs inside Drakon's base than Drakon has. And just like with the first TC, sure, Viper lost a few getting it up, but it kind of evened out because he killed a few after the TC went up. The real problem for Viper is he doesn't have an economy, right? He doesn't have any food income at the moment. So we've seen him using the market a lot. If he wasn't Saracens, this wouldn't be near as possible. So sure, he has a TC forward, but he can't create any more vills, while Drakon, he can create plenty of vills. So this game seems essentially over, but it is the Viper, right? It is the Viper, and honestly, Viper has pretty good map control. I mean, his issue is he didn't get that gate up earlier. I didn't think that this hole in the wall would be such a big deal. I remember criticizing Viper for trying to build that. He didn't know about the scouts, and he didn't know that he would go for the TC rush even, but obviously it is a pretty big deal. And Viper now, he realizes he needs to continue with this because he has no other form of attack. And it seems like he wants to drop another TC. He's at 19 vills. It is 32 now for Drakon. Viper TC's here. I really don't know where he can go after this. That's the problem. After you build this TC, where do you go? Do you start building farms here and start booming up? I think you have to prioritize economy a little bit more if you're Viper after that TC goes up. That, or he could go something like a tower rush. But Drakon seems to have dealt with that well, because he has a defensive tower blocking this area. Oh, but Viper's TC can range this, so never mind. And Drakon is scrambling. He's also running into Viper's base, and Viper sees his tower going up. He has to leave, and he will lose another villager here. Again, he's barely able to create more vills, so he's down to... Or he's up to 19 now. He must have been creating out of this TC. Just ridiculous, man. Just ridiculous. Honestly, great job from Drakon. When you go for Viper strategy, it's obviously not the meta. It's obviously almost committing suicide. But I've casted enough community games on the live stream to know that you guys appreciate suicide. You sick animals. Maybe not suicide, but you guys appreciate the wild strategies, even if they fail. And who better than the Viper to try out this strat for us? And you know what's crazy, guys? He's actually pushing forward. So he gets this tower up. There's a few weak villagers here from Drakon. He could garrison his tower and kill them. And Drakon is doing a great job to relocate out here. Oh, tell me there's a wolf kill coming. Oh, man. Why would you attack the full HP wolf? I mean, the full HP vill, you dumb wolf. But anyway, Drakon's doing a good job relocating, but he is getting pushed outside of his base, which is kind of funny. Also, I have to say, Drakon has done a good job with his scouts. He's keeping Viper on his toes. Again, Viper does not have a strong economy. Viper's 19 villagers behind now. But hey, you know, Viper, he's building another tower. And he should be able to get this one up. And Drakon started his way too late. And Drakon is now leaving his base. And Drakon's still in feudal age. Remember. So yeah, he has more villagers. But if he ever clicks up to castle age, which will take a long time to get there, that'll be an idle TC. So that's about the time it takes to create 5 to 6 villagers. So Viper's not as behind as it seems. But the real problem I see for him is he's not prioritizing economy at all. He has lots of wood, but what he's doing is he's selling that wood for gold, and then he's buying stone for more towers, which is working, but I think if he wants to win this game with his style, he needs to prioritize his economy a bit more. Build a few farms at Drakon's base. And look, Viper's researching fletching now. That's something that Drakon does not have. He's forcing Drakon to just run further and further away. By this time around, Drakon's ready with a counter tower, and Viper needs to run quickly. It's obviously not looking good for Viper, though he has walled in this villager. Oh, I lied. He dead. He dead. Viper's at 20 population. The Viper's at 20 population 36 minutes into the game. I'm not streaming this, but if I was, I'd say this is fine. This is fine. The one thing Viper has going for him is the towers. And trying to quickly gate out Drakon there. He fails with it. He's killed a few more vills. The Viper does have fletching. Drakon does not have that. Drakon doesn't have the food to do much right now. And all new villagers he creates are going forward, and Viper could maybe sneak a tower up on the front. That would be kind of funny if he could build a tower there. In fact, I think that's the best play for Viper. Not to pressure here, but just to tower the farms would be really good. But there we go. He's using the market more. He's back to his TC and his towers now. And yeah, I think he's going to push in with just towers. So this tower will go up. He will probably garrison, and he will fight then. If you look at the range under Drakon's tower, you can see without fletching, he doesn't hit Viper's vills, or all of them. So Viper should kill that. This game is brought to you by your local farmer's market. This game is a reminder that the market is important. Goodness gracious. I mean, both of them abusing the market. I'm serious. The peaches at your farmer's market are at an amazing price right now. You should check it out. But yeah, Drakon wouldn't be able to be in his position if it wasn't for the market. Viper would not be in this position if it wasn't for the market. So market's very important. Funny enough, the market's actually connected to Viper's TC. Quick, Viper, build a market and trade with him. Go for the trade heist. Build your market in the corner. Come on, bro. Drakon is banking up resources now. I mean, he has 22 more villagers, so that would make sense. Still can't believe Viper went for this strategy. It's pretty insane. And it's not looking good for him. It's not looking good for him. But hey, he's building another tower. And that means he will push Drakon back even further. Drakon has so many weak villas here. I really want to see a wolf kill something. Maybe that one. Let's see both towers go up. What Viper can do here is he can send these villagers into the tower here after these run to batter this down. Let's see if he does that. Ideally, this tower will be distracted by these vills as well. So the vills that hop out won't be in a bad spot. Oh, okay. So he's going to tower here. This is kind of what I wanted to see earlier. He's getting Bodkin Arrow. He has no economy, and he's using the market to get Bodkin Arrow. Yeah, Viper needs to stop building this tower. Drakon arrives with the scouts. Well done with his villagers as well. The Viper is fortunate not to lose any villagers there, and he actually will come out on top with a vill kill. 2 vill kills. And a scout kill. And a scout kill, wow. The value in that. Who cares if you waste a little bit of stone for those trades? Dracon's looking pretty good, though, and of course he could make some knights, he could make some siege in the next stage. He is still protecting his farms, which is the most important for him right now, and he still has access to gold. Of course, he can always go over here to the gold from Viper. Heck, he could go into Viper's base and take his stone and wood, or this gold. Like, there's so many places the Drakon can go. And so it's probably over soon for Viper. I mean, the knights will be on the way. But what a ridiculous strategy. I saw this, and I knew I had to cast it. This is just insane. Like, just think about this for a second. Viper's Saracens, he ran into Dracon's base, and TC dropped him. Not once, not twice, but 3 separate times. And again, I think if he would have prioritized his economy a little bit more, this could have worked. It's obvious that he's not playing this too seriously, and neither is Drakon, let's be honest. But, just ridiculous. And Viper, you know, with Conquerors, he should kill this tower if that's all that comes into play. I am wondering if knights will come forward. Yeah, Drakon making knights from those stables on the front. And this is where Viper finds himself in a pretty big pickle. This is not ideal. These knights have bloodlines, they have scale barding, so the tower won't do all that much. And Drakon, he could get +2 defense in a second here as well. If he gets that, there's really nothing Viper can do with these towers. Just look how strong these knights are already versus tower fire. Yeah, wow. Great job from Drakon. Running around with this knight, soaking up the arrow. Well, not even soaking up the arrow fire, distracting the arrow fire. The Viper's realized, and he's switching targets, but he loses a villager. And he's no longer pushing. So, what do you need now? You need guard tower, apparently. A Viper going for guard tower, because why not? All he has is towers. So, he's just gone for it here. He tried to repair that tower. It was too late. He's going to build this one. But it's not looking very good for our Norwegian player in yellow. You can see the rating difference on the players here. I mean, Drakon's going to get some juicy points from this win. I think we'll end up getting 32 points. It's not often a player of Drakon's level beats Viper, who's, well, the best in the world. But it's not often that 2K2s beat 2K5s, as there's only about 10 to 15 of them. Where's Drakon going now? Oh, he's going to build a tower here. I like this move. He's going to build a tower here because he sees that Viper has a few villagers on gold. And he's also getting Conquerors, which will help him hold. And I'll be honest with you guys, as much as I would like to, I'd like Viper to come back here. There's just no way. No, he's at 30 population, 48 minutes into the game. This is not fine. He's in trouble. Knights could go into his main base or into his new base. And Drakon is... Well, I think he's still kind of thrown off. He doesn't know where to go, so he's playing this extremely safe, right? Making sure his economy is branching out, and I guess he'll go to Viper's base. And funny enough, Viper has less economy in his main base than he does in Drakon's base at the moment. Drakon's probably thinking that Viper has most of his economy here, but no. That's not the case. And here come the battering rams from Drakon. He upgrades the light cav, which is not a bad move if you expect monks, and he sees the monks here. And we were here before. Remember, Viper had the monks in early Castle Age. Drakon just had scouts, but now they're light cav. And Viper will... Oh, see the light cav incoming. But because of the tower there, he loses that monk, and he loses this monk. And the tower will go up. It probably means that... I mean, Viper doesn't have the resources to make any more monks, but even if he does, the monks will go down. And Drakon is... You know, yeah, his towers took out Viper's market. He rebuilt a market. Forced Viper to rebuild a market. Pro strategies from Drakon. He can quite easily finish off Viper now, I think, if he goes for a few knights with upgrades. Well played from Drakon. This has been a fun one. Viper's now getting ballistics. So he's still working his way in with the tower. So, if nothing else, give him credit for the tower rush here. Because the towers have actually worked. What hasn't been working is his economy behind the scenes. Behind all of this, that's been the biggest problem. And Viper perhaps thinking this is his only chance now to go for towers. So, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Yeah, don't fix the towers, fix your economy, Viper. He needs the garrison here. Oh, and he's probably distracted by the the rams underneath his TC. And how many villas does he have here? He has 36 in total. There's about 10 villagers here, so a third of his economy will die. And Viper was building yet another tower. And I'm just kind of waiting now for the GG. This has been a hilarious one. Really unique, as I said. It has been meme arena recently. I think that needs to be our new catchphrase. It needs to be our new name for arena. Just call it meme arena, because with no tournaments, players are just messing around. And I say good. Honestly, I say good because, I mean, I like arena, but there's nothing wrong with having a little bit of fun, right? I wouldn't necessarily say that the expert meta is stale, but it certainly doesn't have as much as crazy variety as what we've been seeing recently. So, I mean, Drakon just needs to send his knights back now, right? He is getting +2 defense. He obviously has won this game. This light cap could actually kill all Viper's vills if he sees the vills there. But he's just passing, just as Blue Coffee would. So Viper's going for one last hurrah, one last tower. I think when he sees the knights, he'll know he needs to give it up. There's a huge score difference now. He must know that Drakon has a lot of economy to fund all these knights. And Viper, he'll get the tower up, but it doesn't matter. He calls the GG. And what a funny game, man. What a funny game. Again, when I saw this initially, I thought, well, might not have been the closest game ever, but I think I still need to cast it. If you would have told me ahead of time without me seeing any of it, that Viper would be at 30 population 50 minutes in, I would say, okay, how? What happened? How did we get to that point? And well, you can see. What was it? The smush into TC into Trush. It's the smutrush. That's what it is. That's the new strategy, guys. So make sure to go for it versus all your friends, and I'm sure it'll be successful. But yeah, that's a funny one. Again, guys, here's the achievements, and I can't wait to show you guys the next video. I have a lot of cool videos lined up for YouTube. Drakon winning this one purely because of his defense from the tower rush and TC rush, and because of his economy. But please, 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 if you're interested in checking out the Hidden Cup, I'm really excited for it. I've been working on it for the past few days. I have a lot of things planned. I'll have giveaways, I have prediction contests, and we'll have 3 straight days of amazing expert play. I might not have a TC rush like this, but it will be amazing. So Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the 28th, the 29th, and 30th of September. If you can stop by, I'd love to have you there. And of course, YouTube, you will see all the games after they are played. I'll see you next time, guys. Thank you for watching the video.